one of Ty Emberson's best games as an Edmonton Oiler. And I tweeted it yesterday before he almost scored a goal, which I was like, damn, that would have made me look really, really smart. But I see a bunch of you guys in the YouTube chat are talking about this as well. Maynard said the last 40 minutes was the best we've seen from one Ty Emberson. This kid is legit. Riley says sign Emberson long term. And yeah, Ty Emberson, I said I think his game's going to translate really well to the playoffs because he actually does. He has good puck skills. He can move the puck well. He skates well. And we saw yesterday, he can lay a big hit, but he's also not afraid to, like, a big part of being a defenseman. You got to go back, retrieve pucks. You can't be scared to take a hit either. I think Ty Emberson's game is going to translate beautifully into the playoffs. It's one of the many reasons why they should absolutely be trying to sign this guy right now before he has a chance to have a great playoff run that makes him a popular name, that boosts up his value. I love everything about Ty Emberson's game. That trade is looking beautiful. We said it at the time, Liam. We said this guy is going to be better than Cody Ceci.
Yeah.
And he is like, it's not even close. He is without a doubt better than Cody Ceci.
Yeah, he is. And one other thing I think is a little bit underrated in his game is how quickly he's able to get the puck up the ice. He's such a good skater and turning quick and just either using his legs and getting himself up there or just moving the puck to the right guys. And the Oilers have a lot of guys like that. And Cody Ceci was a good Oiler. I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. He was perfectly
Mr.
good.
Game 7.
Put in bad spots sometimes. I think he was played too many minutes, but you just weren't seeing that from him. Like, he wasn't able to move it as well as Emberson is. And last night, Emberson, 17 minutes and 6 seconds, which was his 4th highest ice time this season. 3 games ago, he played 11 minutes.
In each of the last 2 games, the Oilers have been up by a goal late. Who is the pairing that Chris Knobloch puts on the ice when they're up by a goal late now?
Ekholm
Emberson. Both games, it's been Ekholm and Emberson. I think that says a lot, man. Like, he's earned the trust of this coaching staff. Remember in October, he was getting healthy, scratched a little bit.
Emberson.
Yeah.
That was very interesting. Yeah, it did. It did.
That's a great point as well. But like, Ty Emberson from November on has proven, locked in, he is a very competent everyday NHL defenseman. And if that's the jump he took from game 30 in the NHL to game 60 now in the NHL, what's game 60 to game 100 going to look like? And again, like, get him signed now. You learned your lesson with Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway last year. Just sign him now. Call him and say, what's it going to take? You are not, even if right now they say, if you're like, we're comfortable going 1.2 and Emberson's camp says we want 1.5, you are going to regret potentially letting this thing linger to the summer more than you will just giving him the extra $300K right now.
I agree. What time would you put on that? Like, what length?
Years?
Yeah, like how many years? What's a minimum amount of years you would want to give him?
At least 2. But I would love for this to, like, again, I don't think you're doing like the Oscar Klefbom thing with him where you're not going that far. But with the cap continuing to shoot up, if you could get him for 4 years, even if you had to pay like $2 million, $2.2 million, I honestly think I might give him like a 4-year deal. I'm that high on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's awesome. And it's hard to like really give a comparison of player because one thing he doesn't have on his side is he doesn't get a lot of points. He's just a very trustworthy guy. And 3 years, if you can get him to that, I think is promising at the Oilers blue line right now. At the end of next season, Ekholm's contract is done. Kulak's contract is done. Still 1 more year on Josh Brown. He's done at 2027, believe it or not. And Troy Stetch is done after next season as well. So like, they could use the argument of like, hey, you give us 2 years. By the time that's done, we're gonna have a lot of money to kind of boost you up, or even like, nah, I won't say that part. Skip that part. I think it's interesting now. So if they're putting those 2 pairings out at the end of the game, that pairing out at the end of the game, what if you switch your pairings around
and you start playing Bouchard with Nurse?
Yeah, and then that way, you're asking Emberson. You need to see what Emberson can do over this next 2 months, then to get your 3rd pairing defenseman to play alongside Brett Kulak. Like, I know Stetcher can play that too, and I love Stetcher and his competitiveness and what he kind of brings, but you can upgrade on him for sure. And then that way you don't have to spend as much maybe on a defenseman. You can find someone just to slide in there. It's interesting. I'm curious to see if they experiment with that a little bit longer. I was looking from last night. Emberson played 2 shifts with Ekholm. One of them must have been at the end of the game.
Can I clear up something that's happening in the chat right now? people are saying Emberson is a UFA, not an RFA.
Oh.
So he is a Group 6 eligible. So
Yeah.
if the Oilers, it's basically a thing to like stop tweener or give tweener players like a bit more rights to go like to another organization. Basically, Ty Emberson has played 71 NHL games played. If the Oilers dress him for nine more NHL games this season, he becomes an RFA. So unless Ty Emberson suffers a season-ending injury, he is going to be an RFA this summer, and the Oilers will have his rights. What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.